So for anyone that doesn't know what happened, basically LAG just out of nowhere, they fired their whole staff, right? Like literally everybody.
Literally the entire staff is gone. And I'm
Which
not
is
talking like 70%, 80%. Every single person who worked there besides like the teams, right? Like LAG and the Gladiators and like their coaching staff is gone. They have no creative team, no social team, nothing.
That's insane, and it's kind of worrying as well, right? Like to see such a big player, because it's the Cronkies, right, who owns LAG.
It's worrying because it's not like an actual. It's probably a money problem for what like the Guard and LAG is generating, but from like the overall parent company, like Kronk does not have a money problem. It's more so
not at all.
So let me say, I actually have no idea.
Kevy's giving me a little link we can look at here. Hold on. Yeah. Relink that, Kevy, for me one time.
13 billion.
I got it.
But if you're not seeing a return on investment after a certain amount of time, if the right person, or I guess in this situation, like the wrong person sees that, like this is probably someone high up who wasn't really looking into like how much they were spending. The wrong person probably looked at it and said like, what the fuck is going on here? Like we are losing millions.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. When people come into esports, like I see it all the time. Like people that come into esports from outside of esports, if they don't let other people that know how esports works as a business run shit, it usually turns to shit.
Yeah.
And
also,
I don't think
they were spending a lot of money.
But I don't think that. Do you think that's what happened in this situation? Do you think they just like weren't letting them be hands on and like it kind of just fell apart?
I think they spent so much money that they could it was impossible to get a return on investment. Like I heard their Valorant roster is insanely expensive, like much more expensive than anybody would think.
Well,
not to mention they like the Guard. They kind of built like a star-studded team. Like they built like what people were calling like the Avengers of like creative teams. Like they really built like
the Avengers.
Really huge, like you know what I mean. Like they built a really good staff. But when you do that and you recruit like people who are up there in their respective field, it costs money.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of franchise teams, a Valorant roster, like all this stuff costs money.
Yeah.
And they've always been big spenders. Like if you ask any Call of Duty player, LAG has always been a cool destination. One, because it's LA, and two, because they'll spend.
Yeah.
But
so that's the thing with esports as a whole right now. There are, I mean, I don't want to say zero teams that are profitable, but dude, there's like, it is so hard to be profitable in esports. And I feel like what kind of happened here was they spent all of that money expecting a quick turnaround, a quick payoff, and they weren't seeing it. They were seeing shit in the red a lot, and it probably just made them like freak out. They were probably just like, what's happening with our investment? Nothing positive's coming from it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like that's the root of the issue right there, is that they come, like I said, from a very traditional business background where
they come from sports, Rams, Denver Nuggets,
I mean,
Colorado Avalanche. I know they own the Arsenal. Like they own a lot of heavy players in sports, and like
aren't the Cronkies fucking Walmart?
Yeah, well, the Cronky. So from what I'm pretty sure it is.
Or am I tweaking?
Sorry, but from what I know,
the
Cronky's
Arsenal
wife is the heir to Walmart, I think.
The wife is Walmart. Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure the wife is Walmart, and then the rest is Cronky. He owns like Rams, Arsenal, all that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm sure collectively they own it now, but like either way,
multi-billionaire. I mean, yeah, they've got money, man. They've got a lot of cash.
Well, but like, so I understand cutting expenses and cutting down. They're legitimately just shutting down esports operations by the look of it. Like they just don't want to be in esports anymore. They probably looked at this as like, you know what, we're better off putting more resources towards our sports teams and our other ventures. They just didn't see the long-term esports vision, I guess, which is weird because like their plan was to build like this whole esports stadium alongside the Ram Stadium.
Yeah.
Like they were planning on like a bunch of cool shit for esports that I guess is out the window. Like
So,
there's reports now that if they can't sell the spot, they're just shutting down operations at the end of the year.
Kevin, you're saying I wouldn't say any more. I'd say right now. Are you saying about what we're talking about right now? Or are you talking about Arsenal still? I think he's still talking about Arsenal. But if you were talking about that, I mean, they are completely pulling. This was a full pullout. I mean, this is them being done. I mean,
yeah.
there's no other explanation other than that. Do you want to read this article real quick, just so we can like kind of?
Yeah,
do you want to read along with the class, or do you want to read it to yourself?
You want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
Dude, are we going paragraph by paragraph like we're back in English class?
Yeah, you got the first one.
All right. According to multiple social media posts Wednesday afternoon, a large number of employees have been laid off from Cronky Sports and entertainment-owned esports arm, The Guard. Multiple employees announced that they had been let go, some of whom were recently hired and relocated to Los Angeles after being laid off at other esports organizations in December and earlier this year. See, that is the one of the biggest things that's fucked up. Is that
people just moved their lives and now they're beat.
Well, I mean, think about, put yourself in their shoes for a second. Like, you get asked to move, you're probably really excited, you think that you have a great opportunity in front of you. You relocate to LA, a beautiful place to be. I mean,
and expensive.
Other than taxes and property value, but LA, everything other than financially, LA is it's up there in the US.
I mean, hold on.
And then it just gets ripped away from you right when you get there. I mean, that I feel so bad for some of the employees that happened to. Like, that is just.
I mean, it's a beautiful place, but that is the last place that you want to go get an apartment lease because it's expensive.
That's what I said.
All moved. So, like, I can't think of a worse place to get laid off within 2 days in LA. I actually can't. It's one thing if it's Texas and it's like, it's affordable. Dude, you're looking at expensive units. So that's why I feel so bad, because these people get this opportunity. They're excited for it. They move. They're like, oh, we're in beautiful LA. This is expensive. Bang, done. Pull the rug.
Everyone in my chat saying LA is shit. There's no way y'all think LA is shit.
LA is great for weather and food, but financially, LA is shit.
Financially, LA is shit. The city of LA, I would never live in, but I would live like on the outskirts of LA. I mean, the traffic's horrible, but I would live in like Orange County 100%. I mean, I have lived in Orange County for 4 years. So it's like, but I would not want to live in LA. But that's besides the fucking point. We're getting sidetracked, man. We're getting sidetracked. Sorry. Now those people are left struggling to figure out what to do next. And from most accounts, the Esports Advocate has read the company has offered little or no assistance, guidance, or support for affected employees. Layoffs appear to be across the board, with many executive positions being cut as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a full on pullout, and I feel bad for the people that obviously were excited to get there, start a new step in their careers, and
yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, boom.
And I also saw to make it even worse.
And wait, I got another. I got one more thing. I'm sorry, because chat is saying that, guys. Actually, never mind. Go ahead. I'm not gonna touch on that point. Go ahead.
Okay. I read reports that like people were struggling to get back in the building, and like security was like being very harsh because like some people wanted to go back up files, and it's like, I'm not sure what's going on, but if you're laying your entire workforce off, there has to be some type of empathy to where if people need to go in the office and get their fucking things and back up files, that should be the last thing you should be stopping them from doing. That is basic human decency.
Unless there's some shit getting hidden, like trying to get covered up. I mean,
yeah.
Which I mean, I can't imagine that that's the thing, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that should be the first thing. Go ahead, second paragraph.
A source familiar with the situation who asked not to be identified tells the Esports Advocate that a majority of staff have been laid off, with only Overwatch League team LA Gladiators and Call of Duty League team LA Guerrillas to remain operational until either a suitable buyer can be found for the teams or the franchise slots, or until the end of each league's respective season ends. If a buyer isn't found, both teams would be closed, a source tells the Esports Advocate.
So I mean, that's even more insane. I mean,
Yeah, this is insane.
talk about that. I mean,
Well, I mean, we're also okay. There's two parts to this. They are completely pulling out of esports. Not only did they let go all back-end staff, social teams, they are done with the actual rosters. Like they want the franchise slots sold, which is weird because I mean, me and you know, LA Guerrillas are a heavy player in roster mania because they do throw a lot of money around.
yeah,
It's a desirable destination for players. I mean,
the LA market. I
yeah, you
mean,
can say what you want about LA, but LA has a big sports market. LA has good weather. The LA time zone is actually ideal for
LA's
gaming.
got that chronic. Sorry, I don't
So
smoke.
this is insane. Like this is like because it's one of the teams that I did not expect at all. Honestly, it's one of the last teams outside of like the big three that I'd say the big three. It's one of I did not expect the LA Grills to make a move like this, and it sucks because a lot of people are losing jobs, um, and it's scary. I don't think. Listen, we're in a recession right now,
Yeah,
so while everyone's saying esports is scary, I 100% agree it is, but it's not just esports. I mean, a lot like the tech industry, there are a lot of industries being affected, esports being one of them. We're just in the community, so we're going to hear a lot more talk about how esports is scary, which it is, but it's an overall recession. It's not just esports.
yeah. But I mean, what happens? I mean, dude, what happens if LAG just no one? What if there's not a buyer for LAG? And right now, why would there be? I mean, I don't want to sit here and bash anything, but like, dude, if the CDL is going to YouTube again after everyone has been freaking the fuck out about not wanting to go to YouTube, if it doesn't stay on Twitch, who is going to buy that spot? So then we're stuck with 11 teams in the league. How the fuck is that going to work?
Well, I believe. Okay, I'm not sure about a new season, but let's say, for example, let's say right now they file for bankruptcy.
And then you think about the players too. What happens to like players that signed extended contracts? I mean,
Yeah, no, this is an all disaster. I know in the short term, I'm pretty sure. Let's say they file for bankruptcy tomorrow and they pulled out. I'm pretty sure Activision would be funding the team in the short term. I believe they would go to minimum salaries if they're not already on them, and then the league would operate the team for the time being. Now,
is
for
that
next
actually
year,
true?
I think I could be wrong, but that's what I'm pretty sure the league would have to step in midseason and financially support the team in the short term. I think I could be wrong. As for contracts,
Because they can't just let it like go.
well, here's what's scary. If you file for bankruptcy, I'm not sure how player contracts worked. I'm not sure if that voids.
I mean, they get ripped up. They get ripped up.
I'm not sure if the play exactly. So it's scary, man. And I feel terrible. Let me reiterate how terrible I feel because it's one thing to talk about it and try to share the perspective. It's one thing to be those people who lost jobs. Like their life just got turned upside down, and we don't feel the emotional impact of that. Like that is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So I hope that every single hiring organization looks at the guard and does what they can to try to help people who need a home.
Well,
Because I feel terrible.
so I was gonna say it gets ripped up unless the players or their agents were smart enough to put in a clause that says if the company goes bankrupt, like a guarantee clause, like if the company goes bankrupt, which I doubt they did because I mean
I don't think anybody saw this coming on that end.
Nobody saw it coming. So if they didn't put that in their contract, I mean, if the company goes bankrupt or they declare for bankruptcy, then I'm pretty sure the contract just becomes null and void and gets ripped the fuck up. I mean,
yeah, I mean, and I saw some people comparing this to like other esports organizations, like laying people off. Layoffs are like normal. I understand that we're big in social media and layoffs suck, but like, for example, laying off 10% of your workforce or a few employees is not the same as completely laying off every single member of your staff.
yeah.
Like, it is a business and people are going to lose jobs just like any avenue of life or any other job. But this one's an anomaly in the sense that we're looking at a full-on shutdown from what everybody from the outside saw as a powerhouse org.
They aren't going bankrupt. They just got backed. They just backed out of all esports operations. They laid them off to back out, not because they didn't have any more money. They laid them off to back out. Well, yeah, of course. Yeah,
but technically their arm, like their esports arm, could file for bankruptcy. I mean, we have to assume they lost a lot of money in esports because that's the only reason they'd want to back out. I mean, they probably saw millions of dollars of loss and they're not seeing their return. So they're like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, esports. I mean, esports has always been very hard to make a profit in, and I mean, I would assume right now it's still very, very hard to turn a positive in esports, just because. I mean, it's so young. It's like a bubble. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, this isn't the popping of the bubble. I don't think it will be, just because one major player decides to pull out like this. But it's definitely scary. I mean, let's go next
Let me add one more thing to it. The franchising fee to join the Call of Duty League is way, 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 way too high. Like almost like you can't even justify that number. And I'm thankful that teams bought in. But from the outside, that number is not feasible. Like a $25 million buy-in is not appropriate for the size of our league. And now, if they're talking going back to YouTube, it's even less of a reason to pay that money.
$25 million. I mean,
so I'm sure.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to finish what I was saying by saying, I'm sure that there's an organization out there that would love to be in the Call of Duty League for a more appropriate price. I mean,
yes.
If it's something reasonable, we can see a lot of, there are plenty of cool esports organizations and sports owners that would probably love to be in the Call of Duty League, but not for a $25 million price tag.
People are saying, Scump, you got that? Dude, I would fucking cut both of my balls off before that happened. I mean, $25 million? What do you guys think I am, Bezos? Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. All right, keep reading. Or you can add whatever you're going to say. Sorry.
I mean, I'm just talking about cutting my balls off. All right, here we go. KSC launched its esports division, The Guard, in November of 2021, putting OWL, LA Gladiators, Call of Duty team, LAG, and a Valorant roster under its auspices. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. I mean, what do I look like, Poe? Next,
Edgar.
It also moved into a dedicated esports facility on the grounds of Hollywood Park near SoFi. I mean, so that can't be cheap either. Hollywood Park? That just sounds fucking expensive.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have, if you saw what it actually looked like, I mean, beautiful. They had the Ram Stadium esports facility connected. Hollywood Park is like this big outdoor mall type place with apartments.
And they own
they
it?
had a really cool thing going.
Never mind, if they own it. I mean, it wasn't cheap to own, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's. Go ahead.
It's a powerhouse in the world of professional sports. It owns the LA Rams, Denver Nuggets. I'm not going to read all the names, but they own a lot of sports teams. And they operate multiple ventures, including SoFi Stadium, YouTube Theater, Emirates Stadium, Arsenal Training Center, etc. So they own a lot. Like money, they are a big player in sports stadiums, the YouTube Theater. They have their hand dipped into a lot of buckets, if you will.
Yes. A lot of buckets.
The end is, we'll continue to update this story as more information becomes available. But I'm not sure if we've seen anything similar to this in esports yet. Like a heavy player shutting down all operations and just completely disappearing. I mean, we've seen esports organizations like eUnited that were big in Call of Duty prior.
Yeah.
Shut down, but I feel like this is a different level. Like we're talking big billionaire money.
Big old billions.
And this is literally just, you know what? Like we're losing too much money. We don't see a future here. We're gonna head out.
Yeah.
And can I blame them? Like I think it's very fucked up to have this happen now. It's insanely screwed up. But like I said, I guarantee you the right person, or I don't know to call it the right person or the wrong person. Someone high up probably finally looked into this, like what's going on? Like we are spending an insane amount of money, and just said like we need to pull the plug here.
Yeah.
Could be wrong,
it was someone at the tippity. It was someone at the tippity top. I mean, to have that jurisdiction and just be able to say, wipe everything. I mean, it was someone at the top. But yeah, I feel bad for him. I am worried about what happens with LAG. I mean, even right here, right here, FaZe Clan cuts 20% of their staff too. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
Listen, we are in a recession, and like you said, esports organizations are not typically profitable right now. So it's kind of like a double whammy.
I don't think like many are. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think many are.
What? Okay, I could be.
Because think about how much money is being put in.
Yeah, but it's also like a long-term investment.
And
like,
this isn't just COD. I'm talking across the board, esports in general.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I'm not sure how it works, but I don't think a lot of these owners expected to make a return on investment this soon. Obviously everyone wants to make money and cut even and lose as less as possible, but I think a lot of people see like the long-term vision and are in it for the long game more than the short term. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know. I think when you get like venture capitalists involved and investors, they're giving you money to see money return. So when you start getting these big investors and you get big money, you can't just keep losing money for an extended period and the investors say, you know what, sure, I'm cool with losing millions, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not cool with it. They see that, they probably start freaking out because they're probably used to at least quicker returns. I mean, when was the Guard founded? Did it say in here?
Well, they launched their esports division in November of 2021.
So that's 2 years ago. I mean, not even. That's like a year and that's like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but KSE existed before that. So like what? LAG came in to I think 2019 is when it's whenever they got the Overwatch team that Cronky Esports was launched. So whether that was 2018 or 2019, whatever that was, they just officialized it and became the Guard, like an official esports parent company in 2021, and then they started.
So that's the parent company of all of the teams under it: Gladiators, LAG, Valorant team. The Guard is just like the umbrella.
Yeah,
got it.
And I heard that they spent a fuck ton in Valorant.
I mean,
like Valorant's
not cheap.
An insane amount of money in Valorant.
Valorant's not cheap. I mean, dude, look at some of the orgs that Valorant turned down. I mean,
yeah.
What? We didn't get into Valorant. Who else didn't get into Valorant? That's like a notable person, or not person, but company. FaZe didn't get in. TSM didn't get in. We didn't get in. G2 didn't get in. I mean, Valorant was very peculiar with who they let in.
Well, I'm not even sure if they're in. Is the Guard even in? Is the Guard in franchising? I think they just spent a shit ton of money, and they might not even be in franchising.
They have to be. Wrong. They have to be.
No, they're not.
They're not?
No, they're not. And I still heard they have spent a fuck ton.
So is it like Call of Duty where the challengers teams can't get in to like the VCT? Is that what it's called? The VCT?
Yeah, they're in.
Can they not get in at all?
So essentially, they're in like the challengers comparison to Call of Duty. So they have like a challengers team.
They have a chance.
Oh, they can get
one
team.
One team a year. Is it a relegation system where one team drops out, one team gets in? Or do all the teams stay in?
Wait, hold on. You're telling me
no relegation.
There's no relegation, but you can get in?
Whoever wins tier 2 gets into franchising. So I mean, goodness gracious. The nerves in that match to literally to have it on the line, like for one team to get in, like holy shit. Not to be rude or anything, but can you start playing Michael? I'm gonna be as nice as I can about this. Lick sack partner.
Yep, mushroom stamp on your forehead.
All right. But yeah, I feel really bad for all the employees that got let go. I mean, it's a shitty thing. It's a shitty thing to see. I'm really curious to see what happens with LAG after this year.